Morning everybody, how are you doing? Well, it's not a bad day here today. It's a bit breezy, a little bit cool, but not too windy, not too wet, and yeah, the plants are sort of enjoying it, I think, certainly in the greenhouse. So what a week it's been. Many of you will have had your children go back to school this week. My partner Helen, she goes back into school teaching next week, so that'll be a change for us, and some earlier starts for me throughout the week. But I'm sure for many of you that's really a relief, and we all know that that's where we want our children to be. It's just yeah, when it's safe and it's right for them, that's a good sign. Obviously for us here in the office and Pearson as well, you've got that big change at the start of the week, and I'm sure many of you are excited by the change, but also there'll be plenty of questions about what does this mean for me. And at the moment, some of those questions aren't unanswerable, and it's really hard for us as human beings to deal with you know, a lack of understanding, a lack of knowledge. We want detail, we crave a bit of structure, and we're not getting that. So my advice really is just to deal with what you can deal with. Try and find out more information where you can, but if you don't know what the answer is, then please just get on with what you've been doing. Certainly that's how I've managed this week, is that I've got a job to do, an important job to do, and I'm going to carry on doing that. It was important last week, it's important this week, and it's important next week. And as things change and more becomes clear, I'll know more about where I fit in the picture. That's fine with me. So anyway, back to the garden, which is sort of linked because, you know, nothing's ever the same in the garden. And as you've seen in the last videos in this series this year, we've had snow, we've had rain, we've had wind, and some lovely days as well. So you never really know what's going to happen next. But it's been a good gardening week, and I'm going to wander us around shortly and show you inside the greenhouse and show you what's gone on, but also talk about other things happening in the gardening world. So let's have a little look at the seeds upstairs. As you can see, the garden's just waking up, but we're up here to look at the propagation area. So in here we've got our courgettes. Both of them are looking very good, and actually we're going to repot these very soon because they're now tall enough to be potted on and pricked out. Same here, inside here, got the cucumbers. Next two, only planted them this week, so they're coming. And in here, we've got the first signs of a bit of basil in here as well. So, you know the score here. It's very simple. All you need is a see-through polythene bag, some compost or soil, and some seeds and a bit of water. Near some heat or near a bit of sunlight, and honestly, a week later, 2 weeks later, you'll start to see growth. So that was stage one of growing seeds. This is stage two, or maybe stage three, because I'm going to show you in a second how you prick out those seedlings and put them into pots. But this is stage three, which is the seedlings. So we've got some marigolds, which are looking good. The Puccino tomatoes, which I was worried about when we had a frost here, but now you can see the true leaves coming through and looking really good. I've staked these as well because I know they're going to get taller, and I want to make sure they're okay. And you can see for now, no rulers, but already up to the second part of my, I'll say carpals, but I'm not quite sure if that's technically correct. I need a scientist to reassure me on that one there. We've got the chilies down here and the various different varieties, and we've also got, just checking the thing here, our courgettes as well. Really important, things are labelled up so you know what's going on. And Sam, we've also got your marigolds down here in a pot together, and they're looking good as well. So Sam sent me some seeds from North London, and they have now taken root, which is great. So that's inside the greenhouse. We'll have a quick wander around the garden and see that primrose is looking good. We've got our first daffs coming out in the back garden, which is really nice. Crocuses are still here, and we've got a few purple ones coming through now, but they're not long now, I don't think, before they go. Begonia here, looking very nice as well, and then wandering up slowly but surely, a bit more colour coming into the garden, which is really nice. Plenty of buds as well on the jostaberry, so this is hopefully going to crop really well for us here. You can see how healthy that looks, and the same goes hopefully for everything else we've got at the back of the garden here. And then swinging round, same goes for the blackberry, red currants. So my message there really is everything's looking very healthy, and I'm hopeful that we're going to get a good crop of fruit, but also some colour in the garden as more and more of the bulbs come. Okay, so we're going to put on now and prick out some tomatoes. So here you can see we've got our seeds that we put in 2 weeks ago. Now we grab the tomato plant by the leaf. You can tell that there's now 3-4 leaves there, so it's time to prick it out. So hold it by the leaf and using your stick, just get underneath it and tease out the root. Don't do anything too heavy and too strong, and it will just come. But don't hold it by the stalk, hold it by the leaf. There we go. So you can see there, that's the roots. Now in here, pre-prepared, we've got some compost. We've already watered the compost, just like Adam does on Gardener's World. Little hole in there, drip it down, and then fill it back in with some of the compost here. And then we're going to take some of the compost from where it was before and fill in around the outside, because you might have seen there's a lot of stalk there. It's quite leggy, to use the gardening term. So we're just going to fill it in around the outside of that, push it in, and then using a stick in the garden, you can use bamboo skewers or use a bit of a branch, just pop it in by the side, and there we go, ready to put in the greenhouse, and we'll see how it goes in the next couple of weeks. Well, that's all for this week. The trouble with being a left-hander is when you do videos showing how you're pricking things out or potting things on, is that you can sometimes skew things or cover things up. So I know you didn't see very easily there what I was doing with the tomatoes seeds, but hopefully you can see the end result and where they are now in their pots. That's all the things about being a lefty. So that's it for this week. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time, and I've got a couple of people lined up to speak with you as well, and that's really important to me. I referenced him a few times on here, John Amici, and we work with him in the business around our anti-racism agenda and trying to make Pearson a better place to work for all colleagues. And he had a post on LinkedIn yesterday about you can't fill somebody else's cup unless yours is full too. And being involved with all of you really helps fill my cup. So I can get on with the day of work, but also enjoy myself in the garden here. So seeing what you're up to really helps me. So please keep sending in your photos, your videos. Come and join me in doing these, because it does hopefully fill other people's cups as well. And I'll send a couple of little links on the blog to his video, but also to a couple of other sites, because there's a new blog started by the RHS around growing and sowing. And there's also a really good article about it's time to get sowing now in the garden. So thanks for watching. Happy International Women's Week month and day on Monday, and look after yourselves, and see you in a couple of weeks' time. Bye bye for now.